G'day folks, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. Hope you guys are doing well. For me, it's actually been a few days since I've been playing, and that is because, well, I've been quite sick actually for the last few days, and I figure maybe I should just give myself a bit of a break from all of the recording. You may notice that my voice sounds a little bit different, so apologies for that. In the previous episode, we did try to, well, I wanted to, check out the rest of the lower city, and in fact, we only barely made a dent in it because I only really managed to check out the tabernacle here, or Stormshore Tabernacle. So, yeah, anyway. I'm just looking here, but apparently there's a wooden hatch back here. Did I miss that? So I might just go back and see if I can look at that. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, it does say that we'd be trespassing if we went through, but you know what? I'm curious. I wonder if it just takes us to the sewer, but we'll quick save here just in case. Oh, I may have missed this one as well, but yeah, the main reason why we weren't able to really do too much is because there's just so much reading here. May all who come to the city gates be well, be safe. Let them find safe harbor within the city walls. Let their loved ones stay at their side. Let their children stay in their mothers' and fathers' arms. It's a good prayer. Alright, so just want to be careful here because this guy, the vicar, he does sort of turn around every now and then. We've got the right gear. Oh, hang on, sorry. I really should be sneaking when I do this sort of stuff, shouldn't I? Because sometimes you can get discovered if you don't sneak when you do these sorts of things.
Open up.
Okay, let's go through.
Watch how you go.
Place is trapped.
Okay. Plenty of traps apparently. So let's just look around and let's try and disarm stuff before anyone else makes a move.
Watch how you go. There's a trap.
Yeah, okay. So there are the vents themselves, but I assume we should be okay if we just simply disarm the plate. Or should we be disarming the rest of it? Maybe. Confidential. Report record. For the eyes of Vicar Humblestowes only. Record of report. Reporting officer Devella Fountainhead. Reporter Vicar Humbletoes. Contents of report. Witness returned to Tabernacle around noon after giving outdoor sermon, validated with other civilians. Witness observed bloodied offering on central shrine, a severed hand. Upon inspection, witness noted an attached scroll fragment reading, "Murder shall be holy again." Officer notes, "Thank you for your report, Vicar. While we've not been able to identify the hand in question, we suspect this is linked to another investigation currently taking place. We'll keep some fist on standby near the Tabernacle Gauntlet Fountainhead. Regarding prayer monitoring. My dearest Duke Porter, I appreciate we live in unusual times and the cult of the Absolute possesses an unprecedented threat. However, I will not be logging the prayers offered at the Tabernacle under any circumstances. It is a violation of the trust of the gathered faithful of our great city, and beyond place in the institution. And quite frankly, I am insulted you would ask this of me. Besides, parchment is expensive, and we got a lot of prayers. Yours indignantly, Vicar Humbletoes, rather. So he's been asked by the Flaming Fist to keep an eye out on the contents of prayers, which, you know, seems a bit questionable. And apparently he's also an investigator, and he's investigating the same murders that we are. We're looking for a dwarf wearing red, right? We did find one person in the, it's not the flop house, in the Elf Song Tavern. Why not? Let's get rid of these as well, just in case. If we step on another plate, these things won't activate. Alright, let's see. Is there a way to get through here? There must be a way to open these. And check out the sarcophaguses. Maybe there might be like some kind of a lever or something. Okay. Seems pretty safe. Let's just look around a little bit more with Blue, just to use his perception. Not picking up anything else, so... Yeah, I guess the other problem is we're not supposed to be here, are we? So... Oh. Scratch is pointing at something. Scratch, get back, boy. And...
My face.
Move Shadowheart in this direction as well. Yeah, it's interesting that, that he does this pose where he's like pointing towards something. That's kind of cool.
And, well...
Scratch lost condition. Scratch's sniff. Scratch has discovered something of note nearby.
If everyone else
Anyway, I'm just gonna hide very quickly here, just in case we need to be hiding. Okay, we've just failed a perception check there. There must be some kind of a trap. No one's here though.
The pride of the gate.
So let's bring in everyone else and just try to redo this check.
Careful. There are traps about.
Thank you, Will, my good sir.
Watch how you go. There's a trap.
Okay. And what about this? Is a booby trapped?
Never wanted the easy path.
Not really getting any additional checks here, so my assumption is that we're looking okay. Amulet of the Devout. High spellcasting, you gain a +2 to spell save DC. That's really good. God's Will, you gain an additional use of Channel Divinity. Once used, it is restored upon taking a long rest. Something for Shadowheart then. Castigated by Divinity. An affected entity is cursed by transgressed and irritable gods. When it falls unconscious, it immediately dies. Moreover, when it dies, a terrible envoy of the offended deity is conjured from the entity's corpse? Okay, is it just basically because we're desecrating a mausoleum here? Possibly. Offering chest. Okay, this doesn't actually say what deity it is. This one says Mistra, this one says Oh, this one doesn't have anything. Very interesting. I mean, should we be taking this stuff? A lot of people were sort of suggesting, you should just steal all the things you need. It's alright. In Dungeons and Dragons, everyone steals, apparently. Let's grab all of that. And all of that.
Time to press ahead.
Hammer of the Just. Slay the Wicked. This weapon deals an additional 1 to 6 bludgeoning damage against fiends and undead. Can use Detect Thoughts with that. I'll take it, but I don't know if we'll really be using it though. Shield of Shielding. What does this do? When you're about to be hit by an enemy, increase your armor class by 5. You take no damage from magic missile. It's a reaction, apparently. Could be interesting, although I think we've got really good shields for the people who need shields. It's versatile, meaning I could... Oh, okay, sorry, I was thinking of something else here. What's the one that uses your finesse ability instead of strength? I can't remember. Is it finesse, maybe? Dexterity instead of strength, yeah. Can be used with one hand or both. Deals more damage when wielded with both hands. Alright. I think we got everything. Sorry, let me just double check. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. So, I don't see a way into the sarcophaguses, though. Unless the switch might be somewhere else, or there's an alternate way to get in. Or, another alternative is perhaps gaseous form. Can you use gaseous form to get through these spaces? We've got a few. I don't think anyone else has gaseous form, or I could bring Gale with me. But I think that's a little bit extra work. Let's just try. We can't get there still. Oh, hang on. No, no, no. You can. Apparently you have to fly over the gates, though. Strength? Elixir of Heroism. A gold band. Sure. I thought we would need to go out of the gaseous form before we can actually interact with stuff, but apparently not. We can actually pick things up, so very interesting. Okay. And yeah, strength checks. So hopefully we can get this. I feel like we got lucky that time. Oh, okay. Down to 2. Was it worth a couple of inspiration points? I don't know. Okay, that was good. Productive, but we're still here in the tabernacle, so I really want to move on if we can. Let's do a quick save. Now hopefully when we come back up this hatch, Vicar isn't, you know, staring towards us.
Divine protectors of Baldur's Gate, hear this humble
Yeah.
plea.
No one knows a thing. Now, we did actually learn a little bit about what the Vicar's doing. Do we want to have a chat with him about it? I don't know if that's a good idea, because then he will know that we have been down there.
Welcome back, Choi. You have come far, I perceive.
Okay. No. Nothing of that sort. I still don't really know too much about the whole blessing thing, guys. So obviously you could offer or make offerings to various gods. I just don't want to waste too much of our resource. I assume we need to make a certain amount of offerings or special items. I'd be keen on you guys to perhaps maybe provide some guidance in the comments section down below, obviously. Alright, so I think I said that we're going to go to the presses here to complete this quest line. I do want to do maybe a couple of things here. I'm just concerned that we will get to there's a special place that I want to bring Gale to, like a shop. I forget what it's called. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna bring Jaheira with me, and the reason for bringing Jaheira is because, well, I've been told that Jaheira is actually quite famous in Baldur's Gate, so there could be some very interesting interactions if we have Jaheira with us. So that's the plan. So, I think it's okay to leave perhaps Shadowheart behind, and we take Jaheira instead. We just don't have a healer, although we've got plenty of potions and all that sort of stuff. Another thing that I do want to do with Jaheira
There's little
is...
point in pressing Nine Fingers further. She means what she says. But we swore no vows. She won't tell us where to find Minsk. Someone else in her guild hall will. We need to be swift.
Well, we've already discovered where to find Minsk, though, right? Where do you suggest we begin?
I suppose we must greet the local wildlife. Guildhall is awash with ale-scented gossip at the best of times. These days, they have nothing but the Stone Lord to talk about. Flattered as I am.
Okay, so with her in the party now, we should also be able to just take a look at her equipment very quickly. And yeah, the suggestion was maybe the Jolty Vest isn't the best. And perhaps maybe we might want to consider a different piece of armor.
Yes.
I'm just not entirely sure if the suggestion, or the suggestion made, sorry, this was me reading stuff a while ago, but whether or not we actually still have the armor piece that was suggested, and I'm having trouble remembering what the armor piece was, but let me just have a look. So, heavy armor is obviously out of the question. Yeah, I think this is what was suggested. So 14 armor class, superior material, counter shock when the wearer takes damage while having lightning charges, attacker must succeed dexterity saving throw or become shocked. So we're relying on the Jolty Vest to come into play when we dash. But I feel like this is so circumstantial that it might not be the best. Like we don't often dash, especially when we're within range of enemies and within casting range as well. So it might not be the perfect combo. So with that in mind, I think I'm going to put the Dark Justiciar half plate on. That'll bring her armor up to 20, or armor class rather, and we might need to consider what to do with footwear, with her boots. So boots of psionic movement. When a Githyanki casts fly, their next melee weapon attack deals an additional 1 to 4 psychic damage. Githborn flying boots. I suppose the only benefit if we wore this is that we'd be able to just cast the fly spell. I think we picked up a pair of boots just recently, which might work in our favor. Spider step. Hang on, where are those boots? It might be on another character, actually. Let me have a look at what other people have. Ah, yes, here, Astarion. Acrobatics and armor class. Swift strides. When the wearer dashes or takes a similar action during combat, they gain momentum for 3 turns. So he has decent acrobatics, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, wow, plus 10. Can you even get more? I mean, with that in mind, I think maybe I'll just swing this across to her instead. Or we could use Spring Step boots. Again, it's something that you would get a benefit from only if you dash, but... yeah, I think that's probably better for her. Shade Slayer cloak. Yeah, I'll put this on Astarion immediately. He doesn't have a cloak right now, so we may as well. And Jaheira, yeah, still a bit of a problem with ranged. Jaheira's up to armor class 21. So that's pretty impressive, to be honest. And now we just need to find a decent weapon for Jaheira. One-handed weapon, maybe a decent scimitar, that is. And we've got Corvid Token, which is also something that we've only just recently bought. Where the wearer has 50% hit points or less, they don't provoke opportunity attacks. This seems decent for Astarion, but I like having Misty Step for Astarion. I'll just give it to Astarion for the moment, and I'll replace that with Corvid Token. So let's just take a look at this again. While wearing the amulet, the wearer's jump and flying speed increase by 1.5 meters. They gain Featherfall. Featherfall effect will persist while the wearer is polymorphed or wild-shaped. Polymorph Dire Raven. Take the shape of a Dire Raven that can avoid attention and blind enemies. It has 13 hit points. That's not a lot of hit points. Actually, what I don't really know at the moment is what happens to... Ooh, actually, Is this better? With a spell or a cantrip, they gain momentum for 2 turns. I think I was in the process of maybe giving this to her. That seems much better than the evasive shoes. Yep. Yeah, I don't know what happens if you're polymorphed or in wild shape, and if you go down to 0 hit points, do you die, or do you just change back into your human or humanoid shape? Not sure, actually. Okay, let's continue on. Probably do need to just do some preparing here. So long strider for you.
Always nice to be wanted.
And because Jaheira can, we should actually conjure the woodland being. Do we want to go with an elemental immediately at this point? Then we can go and cast Woodward or Fallen Lover. Okay, I don't want to, you know, bring out too many more summons just yet, because then it'll just get a little bit messy whenever we're traversing. Alright, so on to the Baldur's Mouth Gazette, or the press office for it. Yeah, we've spoken to these guys.
Be vigilant, citizen.
What's up for discussion?
No, we are not censoring the mouth. We are simply doing a routine inspection. And no, I cannot sell you a copy.
If the Steel Watchers had eyes, at least you'd feel like you were being watched by something with a soul.
I don't know how I feel about these guys having real eyes in them. That'll be a little bit creepy. Fist Glenorva. Or Glenvora.
These writers sure do have a lot to say. The amount of trees they must have cut down to print all these papers. And people complain about the Steel Watch taking up resources. Huh.
I keep telling you animals, if you want to buy a gazette, talk to the loud little shit screaming headlines. I deliver the papers. I do not sell them.
Okay. Calm down.
Gortash is still watch. Well, I am so glad you asked, Edvard.
No time to chat, mate, sorry. Since Gortash donated this printing machine, we've had ridiculous volume to shift.
Maybe they're spewing propaganda for Gortash?
Wise and merciful Lord Gortash.
Listen, pal, if you're not moving my share of broadsheets, you're in my way. Shift!
Jeez. Let's check the mailbox. Stelmane murder tip. To whom it may concern at Baldur's Mouth, I got a hot tip to sell on the Stelmane murder, but you got to come across with the gold or it's a no-go. I'll give you an idea to show you it's worth it. When it happened, I was in the Elf Song, sleeping right in the next room. And alright, I admit, I heard nothing and slept through the whole thing, but in the morning I got a glance into Stelmane's gory room, and oh papa mama, the things I could tell you. Anyway, meet me tonight on the Elsong Terrace. I'll be the one with the purple feather in her cap. And bring a stack of shiny or my lips stay sealed. Can we meet this person? To the puzzle editor. Baldur's Mouth puzzle editor. Hey, I found a copy of your broadsheet on my late uncle's desk with the Win a Peek at Candlekeep acrostic puzzle half done. And it took me a while, but anyway, I finished it. I got every question right, as you can see from the enclosed. If I come up to Baldur's Mouth building, if I come up to the Baldur's Mouth building, who do I talk to collect my prize? That Etvard Needle fellow? I hope so, because I have a thing or two I'd like to tell him. Let me know, alright? Falmor Dugur, Lower City. Wrong, wrong, wrong. To the recipes editor. I'm a professional chef, so I'm writing to you to tell you I am in a big outrage about your article about how to cook the ducks. It was wrong, bad, dumb, stupid, incorrect, wrong, wrong, wrong. You want to know how to cook the ducks? You should ask Revere how to cook the ducks. He is cooking the ducks every night at the Elf Song for more years than the number of times your article was wrong. You tell me when, I will come over and show you how to cook the ducks. Recipe editor, H.A. Or, I think he was being sarcastic there. Recipe editor, H.A. Municipal sanitation notice. I think maybe we have read this one. Yeah, it's about the smells coming out of the sewers.
156, 157, 15... Oh, I'm sorry, can't chat. 15... Shit! Where was I up to?
Well, you got up to 158.
Oh, thank Corellin. You're a lifesaver. 158, 159...
And we...
160. Okay, let's mark that. Great. 161, 162.
Can I call you Edvard?
Well, Edvard, I didn't see the last option in that interaction, guys, so apologies. Maybe there could have been something important there, I don't know. Baldur's Mouth.
Baldur's Mouth.
Oi! I got my eye on you. You got the look of a troublemaker.
Accusations.
I just packed the papers. If you've got a complaint, editor's inside.
Yes, we do have a complaint. Is it a complaint, or are we just there to check out what they're writing about us?
Shelter. Refugees welcome.
Okay, so this is a refugee shelter. I might check that out first before we continue with Baldur's Mouth. None of these signboards are interactable, unfortunately, but... Past due invoice. To Pamela Nortal. Your invoice for last month's food deliveries is past due. If you do not make the minimum payment by the due date, this account will be turned over for collection to Fist Repossession. Repossessions. We understand that your hostel is a charity establishment, but Durenbold and Othun Provisioners is not. Please attend to this matter in a responsible and timely fashion. Martinev Othun, valued customer disciplinarian. Okay. Let's have a chat with these refugees. Let's do a quick save here.
Welcome. If you've need of a bunk or a bath, you'll find them upstairs.
I'm grateful to be here, I am. But I thought we'd arrive as a family. Not like this.
As a family? The missing his family, or...?
The soap here smells funny.
Hey, at least you've got soap.
Just quiet. The same for everyone. Clothes go in the fire, comb goes through the hair. We'll have no lice in here.
Employment opportunities. Employment opportunities this 10 days, so act now. Fish cleaner wanted. Apply to old troutman at the Heapside docks. Cut hair sweeper. Must bring own broom. Figaro facemaker. Drummer needed for pickup band. See Hank at the Singing Lute. The Singing Lute. Maybe that's another tavern that we can visit? My dear Madame Nortal.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
My dear Madame Nortal, you making a compelling case for an additional contribution over and above my usual annual donation. But Daddy, Lord Her, you remember, tells me that I've already overspent my allowance, so I'm on short notice until my intended's dowry comes through. Hard cheese for all of us, sorry to say, but my cousin Clairbold had a clever idea, as he so often does. If you could see your way to renaming your establishment after Daddy to Her Rillin's Hostel, I'm certain I can persuade him to cut loose with a good old chunk of change in your direction. There might even be a bit from me for suggesting it. What do you say? Let me know quickly, he's in a good mood. Your admirer, Dirk Rillin. A draft letter to Lord Whitburn. To the Honourable Lord Whitburn, Whitburn House, Upper City. I am Pamela Nortal, owner and manager of Nortal's Hostel, a non-profit boarding house catering to families in need. And with the current refugee crisis, there are more families in need than ever. Once before your marriage, you told me that if you could only afford it, you'd be happy to help defray our costs with a generous donation. I am told that you have since come into funds, and our need is so desperate that I am presumptuous enough to... I guess it's a draft letter, so not continued just yet. There's a book over here. Hostel Registry. Nortal's Hostel current lodgers, Goris Ballast, Dolber Green and Dwindling, Bunt Chugley, Rags Delarma, Reagan Splint, last 10 day due to that incident. So he's in trouble. Goris?
Good luck getting some kip up here. I'd stuff your ears if I were you. I don't need silence. 5
or 6 heroes. An easy-to-read children's book about an unlikely team of heroes who band together to defend a forest gnome village against marauding gnolls. The raiders are driven away, the village is saved, the comical sidekick gets engaged to a gnomish beekeeper, and virtue is triumphant.
You do realize we can't stay here forever, don't you? Those walls might slow the army of the Absolute down, but they'll get through them sooner or later.
Okay, there doesn't seem to be too much more going on here. Let's circle around again to Baldur's Mouth. Ooh. Ooh. That's a big one. Alright, so let's check out the Gazette. Another quick save here, just in case. Ooh, I've just seen here, there's a lever, apparently. Okay, so this is within the Gazette building.
Afraid I'll have to ask you to stop there.
Only Etfard's allowed to use the basement elevator.
Basement elevator. Okay, so they've got a basement. Maybe there's a alternative way to get down there.
Hey, cut it out, will you? I've got deliveries to manage.
So who do we need to speak to specifically? Doesn't exactly say, but we are going to have a chat with everyone anyway, so... There's this section up here, which we might be able to reach. And then a ladder that leads, I assume, to the roof or maybe another level. Security first. Security first. Security for those who deserve it is the first responsibility of government. As the creator of the Steel Watch, Lord Gortash has proven his credentials as a master of civic security.
You ever heard of this many guards for a bloody broadsheet? It's ridiculous.
So Gortash must have some kind of a vested interest in the Baldur's Mouth Gazette in that case. Propaganda arm. Yeah, the problem is only looking at these things will cause people to be suspicious of us. Let's come back down this way. Glimmer Whistleborn.
Don't know about you, but them big metal bastards really put me off my flow.
We'll need more pieces to support it in the edition afterwards. Boots on the ground interviews with victims of the miscreants. Yes, excellent.
Steel watches, yeah. Okay. Didn't realize there were a couple of them sitting here.
Yes, Alan owes me a favor.
Damn it, damn it, damn it! Still missing one link. Oi, shove off. Don't be peeking at my scoop.
Real journalists at work.
Wait, stay there. You reminded me of that word I was looking for. Corpusculent. That's it. As you were.
Corpusculent. Well, I have no idea what that means, actually. I have to look that up.
Hang on! You're not allowed down in the basement. Only Master Needle is permitted access to the printworks.
I wonder if we can convince... or we can convince him that we're to go down there. Yeah, a lot of inaccessible spots here. Well, let's have a chat with him.
Absolutely catapult sales. Well, well, if it isn't the city's next celebrity. You star in our next edition's top story.
Sorry, who are you?
Etvard Needle, editor of the Baldur's Mouth Gazette, speaking truth to power since 1450 DR. No need to introduce yourself. I make sure I become intimately familiar with my subjects before writing about them.
Yeah, I heard all about your article, and I want you to shut it down.
Well, you should have considered that before disgracing yourself in public. Trafficking refugees into our city is hardly a good look, especially when so many are absolutists and murderers. The truth will be out with tomorrow's broadsheet. People will spit in your face. Your very presence will be bad for business. You'll be a pariah, an outcast, as you should be. And then, we can only hope the Fist do their duty and escort you to the gallows. Your days of scumming up this good city streets will be over.
Okay, so that's how they're portraying us. Hmm. Who told you this nonsense?
I would never reveal my sources, and certainly not to the likes of you. Besides, you're too late. The headlines are loaded into the print works already. Tomorrow, you will feel the power of free speech. Vox Populi, Vox Dei. Now, guards! I believe our distinguished guest was just leaving. Would you care to escort them out?
Okay, well, we would be in a very bad position here. To get into a fight, especially with steel watchers. Alright, let them take us outside. And now it's inaccessible. Interesting. There must be another way to get in. Alright, let's take a look at the updated journal there. Stop the presses. Edward Needle has written an article for the next Baldur's Mouth edition that will ruin your reputation. We must stop it from printing. Okay. So, I really think there's probably a way in from above, but also perhaps maybe a way in elsewhere, which is not apparent just yet. Let me take another quick look at the hostel here. So, I'm sort of banking on finding, like, a hatch or something like that. Yeah, there's a big area up here, which might be accessible. Yeah, I mean, there's like a nest over there. I might be able to jump up and go in that way. Okay. So, to use Scroll of Fly, you have to use it within 10 turns.
Let us show them how it's done.
Or I could have Jaheira scout out the area for us with Dire Raven. Maybe.
Onward.
I'm just gonna have a look around the rest of the building, or at least the outsides of the building, and we'll try to figure out if there is not another way in elsewhere.
I should speak up.
The hostel's up that way. You won't find better around here, unless you can pay for it.
I bet that
postal lady wouldn't make you clean the dishes.
Another step forward.
If this lot have got a problem with the Gazette, they should take it up with the editor, not make a scene in the streets.
So glad you asked, Edvard.
Baldur's Gate's never going to be safe with the Absolute out there. Why would the Gazette lie to an entire city?
No point reading the Gazette. You might as well be reading the walls of a tavern privy.
Kinda terrifying that the likes of Lord Gortash can just decide what's true or not. Despicable.
Yeah. That's
The paper says
essentially
we're
what's
safe
going
here,
on.
But we're not. We may as well be outside the walls with the Absolute.
Alright. I mean, we've already seen all the dead, like, nobles and whatnot that visited his, I keep wanting to say coronation to Archduke.
I'll never understand people who don't want to be famous. The more the people like you, the more you can get away with.
It doesn't work that way.
God's damned hypocrite! The blade of frontiers, all pomp and empty oaths. The sword coast's most dashing fraud. I trusted you. I believed in you.
Floric, what do you want about? What is this?
Lady Missoura told me everything. How you slaughtered your own father. How you crave his power. I thought you were going to save him. But you abused his current state to get rid of him. You mean to make the city bow to you, and you alone.
That meddling ghoul. Floric,
Save it. My duty is to Baldur's Gate, and it holds no place for Ravengard's treacherous spawn.
Oh no. Oh. And we've only got like one inspiration. Please. Please let this work. Ravengard could still be alive, and we intend to save him. Please. Voice of the Circle, yes. Guidance, yes. Please, don't roll a 1. Oh. Ooh.
At ease. By the living gods, I believe you. What darkness has fallen upon us? Will, there's something you must know. I should have told you sooner, but I'd hoped somehow your father would return to us. He knew about the Absolute. I thought little of it at first, but he realized the danger before anyone else did. He understood that if the cult were successful in raising an army, Baldur's Gate would be doomed. Before the Absolutists abducted him, he told me that should he fall, I must seek you out and give you this message. Your father trained you in the ways of great champions. You are to use those lessons to wake the worm under the city. He is oath-bound to answer your call and come to our aid.
About that, we've kind of done that quest already. I'll do response 3. What lessons do you mean?
Courage, insight, strategy, justice. I remember them well. Father made me recite them every morning. I would like to know more about this worm.
The worm goes by many names. Ansur, the waiting storm, the heart of the gate. He promised Baldur he'd protect the city if ever its existence was threatened, but just the once. Since then, the city faced countless threats, but the Baldurians overcame them all. There was never any need to call upon the worm, but this time, things are different. This is the greatest threat Baldur's Gate ever faced. Your father was right. We need Ansur's help. With him gone, the worm's awakening now falls to you. Take this. The legend of Ansur, an ancient epic, ill-remembered, dismissed as a mere tale. Let it set the path before you.
Is she gonna attack us if we say that the dragon's dead? I guess we'll tell her. The dragon Ansur is dead.
Dead? So once more, fortune turns against us. We need to prepare for battle. I will head out and seek out more allies to help our cause. The fate of the city now rests with us. May your father's courage be with you, Will. And may we drive the Absolute forever from the coast.
That's it. Not even a question about how the dragon died, because we were semi-responsible for that. But anyway, Will?
Ansur is dead.
Well, hang on. What's going on here? Is there a bug or something going on?
There'll be no great tempest roaring through the skies, no dragon redeemer to save us. What hope then for Baldur's Gate? Without the great worm's aid, is the city doomed to fall?
You braved the worm's lair, seeking a savior. Yet it was you, all of you, who vanquished the undead abomination which Ansur became. You are more powerful than you understand. It is you who are the Tempest. It is you who are the heart of the gate.
Hate to say it, Will, but I agree with the Mind Flayer. Baldur's Gate doesn't need a dragon. It needs you.
You're right. We are the warriors who'll slay the Absolute. We are the guardians who'll defend this fair city.
Nod along silently. It would have been nice to have a dragon on our side.
Perhaps, but we will still smite the brain and still be hailed as champions. I could even claim my father's own ducal title and carry his banner after this. Grand Duke Will Ravengard, Marshal of the Flaming Fist, the city's truest defender.
A title you would earn, no doubt. But I wonder if the people would be so quick to look past the horns, Will. Baldur's Gate is not an oasis of open minds.
The Absolute's end would be the guarantee. Devilish visage be damned. If I were to call myself Grand Duke, no patriarch would deny the claim.
I'm gonna leave it up to Will in this instance. So if he wants to be a Grand Duke, then so be it. Follow your heart, Will. I trust you to make the right decision.
I fought to right the wrongs of the coast, to slay the monsters that hunt the helpless. What good is a champion who puts himself above the people? What good am I as a politician just out of reach? There will be no Grand Duke Will Ravengard, and there will be no Blade of Frontiers. I am now the Blade of Avernus. For as long as demons and devils imperil the Sword Coast, they will be my prey.
Hail the Blade of Avernus.
The Blade of Avernus!
A calm settles over you. The Elder Brain is a menace, but with the Blade of Avernus at your side, you know you will triumph.
Oh, okay, we've completed the Blade of Frontiers. That's one that we've had for a very long time. Will wants to speak again, apparently.
The Blade of Avernus. A new name for a changed man. The 4 pillars finally rise within me. Courage, insight, strategy, justice. I'm not to abide them, but to become them. But enough reflection for today. I'm of a mind to celebrate. A hearty meal would do the trick. A few hunks of fresh venison, a round of brown ale. What do you say?
Sounds heavenly.
Wonderful. You hunt the deer, I'll scrounge up the ale. Prepare your belly for a roast a la Blade. Let's hope Gale doesn't take offense if I assume cooking duties, just the once.
Oh, has Gale been doing all the cooking? Right. What are your plans as the Blade once the Brain is defeated?
I scout both the Hells and the Coast's havens, and I destroy every fiend that dares put its eye on Faerun.
Will takes a sharp breath. He's keeping something from you.
I figure there's more to your plans than you're letting on, isn't there?
Yes, there is. I will be hunting Mizora. I won't let her claim one more soul, slay one more victim. I'm going to make my way to the Hells and tear the horns right off her damned head.
I could persuade him to let it go. Is this going to be an additional quest though, or I think Baldur's Gate, perhaps maybe the main storyline and campaign finishes after the Absolute's defeated, right? So maybe we wouldn't be able to see this, but yeah, I'm not sure. Because I would love to be able to assist him in his mission, in his quest. But it sounds like a quest of vengeance, though. I mean, we've got all the bonuses from Voice of the Circle and stuff. Yeah. I reckon he would probably be better off helping people rather than pursuing vengeance. So we'll ask him to let it go. Oh! Ugh. Okay. Well, I mean, we've got one more inspiration. This is gonna be our last one, though.
Part of me wants to argue, to insist that I'd be killing Mizora for the good of the coast, but I can't. Not when I know I'm killing her out of revenge. You're right. I won't target Mizora. But should she cross my path in Avernus, I'll cut her to ribbons before she can so much as groan Zariel's name.
There we go. Will is a new man. I wonder if there is any chance of us, you know, reverting him back to his old self. You know, depending on some of the choices that you make in the game. Perhaps. But anyway, I am going to be taking a quick break here, and when we come back, I think we'll do... I mean, he did say something about, like, having a nice celebration. Do we want to do a long rest? I mean, I could do that. We've got the supplies, so we may as well. And then after that, we'll figure out a way to get into this bloody office building. It's strange to say office building. It is technically an office, Baldur's Mouth Gazette. Anyway, signing out here, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like down below if you did. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one.